What's up, everybody? I'm Lance, and welcome to my second channel, Lance B2. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing good. Today is, what is today? Today's Friday. Today's a Friday. I hope you all have a good Friday. Now, yesterday, I posted that I was going to react to Sunny V2, creator Bentellect. We're going to switch that up a little bit because that was from a year ago. Apparently, Sunny V2 is not on YouTube anymore, apparently. That's why I've been here. Internet Anarchist came out with a video, an updated video, about 2 months ago, talking about the same person, Bentellect. Now, if you're not familiar with the creator Bentellect, he originally was on TikTok, he's on YouTube Shorts, but here's an example of what he does.
We finally figured it out. Limited edition McDonald's Sprite, spicy Sprite. Brian from Legal is going to freak when he sees this. Uno said, why is it spicy? Since we're asking questions, why can't we stack in Uno? For real. Opens can, just burns.
Facts. Triple facts.
Dating is exhausting. How many people do I have to tell my favorite color to until I find my soulmate? Double facts. How I use Instagram. Scroll. F is this. Unfollow. Scroll. Facts. Screenshot. Yes.
So we're up to speed what he does. Then I started hearing about all this stuff about him. You know, he allegedly he's kind of like a creep to women and blah, blah, blah. But I'm not too sure how deep it goes. So we're going to check that out. So we're going to check out Internet Anarchist. I'll leave the link down below for Internet Anarchist. And yeah, let's check it out.
Well, does slandering the creator who exposed you for being a manipulative creep ever turn out well? From Bentellect's perspective, calling Charlie, aka Moist Critical, a liar and a creep was the quickest way to repair his reputation.
Let's start. Well, first of all, I hate to pause it right out of the gate here, but let's talk about that little visual aid he had there with Bentellect, with the planet and that's cool. That's dope. How did you do that, Internet Anarchist? That's pretty dope. That's a dope feature. I like to add that to my own videos. But anyway, you gonna come after Charlie, the YouTube Jesus?
I would argue that Charlie reading strangers' private text messages makes him and his followers more of a creep than me texting a girl. But there's an idiot born every second, and a lot of them are following Moist Critical.
Sadly, Ben was just digging himself into a bigger hole as his petty, vengeful, and litigious past was about to destroy his reputation a second time. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll discuss the dubious return of YouTube's least favorite TikToker, Bentellect. What he did to turn the internet against him the first time, why he thought slandering Charlie was a good way to make a comeback, and how it will only make things worse for him in the long run. We've covered Ben once before on the channel, but here's a brief summary of the controversy surrounding his career and his encounter with Charlie. Over the years, Ben has built up—
I'm sorry, I'm living for this little visual stuff right here as an editor. I'm really living for that. But anyway,
up a vast social media following across YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram by reacting to other people's memes. While he received criticism for making low-effort content and copyright striking other people's videos about him, Ben was still well liked by his fans. Unfortunately, that all changed in July of 2023, when the creator Jordan Max shared a series of damning messages that revealed how Ben was leveraging his platform to try and hook up with OF models. According to Jordan and the screenshots provided, they had a podcast collaboration planned, but Ben decided to call it off mere hours before shooting because she refused to film OF content with him, with texts reading, "I was just thinking you're helping me with doing a video for my YouTube, so maybe I could help you with your OF. Hey, gonna do the pickle video with someone else. Thanks though." Within days, several other women came out with similar stories of Ben turning aggressive aggressive and petty when they rejected him. In a bid to mitigate the damage to his reputation, Ben threatened to sue Jordan for simply publishing the screenshots. However, his desperation to hide the situation only made the claims against him even more credible. When viewers confronted Ben with evidence, he didn't deny it and tried to downplay the controversy by saying, quote, "People are upset over PG text messages." To see such a popular creator take advantage of that popularity to manipulate people into sleeping with him naturally revolted his audience. Once the backlash became too severe to ignore, Ben released this half-hearted apology to hopefully save his reputation.
Just wanted to clear the air. The first thing I want to say is I'm sorry to anyone that I've made feel uncomfortable. I want to say to any girl who I've been rude to, whether through text or in person, that I'm sorry. I understand that me being sorry does not excuse that kind of behavior. I will continue to work on myself and do better. Thanks, guys.
To anyone watching, Ben wasn't making this apology because he felt sorry, but because he wanted to maintain his career. When that didn't work, Ben deleted all traces of the apology from his social media. Unfortunately, that didn't stop the news of his misconduct from spreading like wildfire across the internet, as creators like Penguinz0 wasted no time in roasting.
I don't understand how this younger generation doesn't realize they're more tech savvy than the older generation. I assume, because they were born into it. That you think you're going to delete something, it's going to disappear. They have the Wayback Machine, so you can, you can find stuff. People's going to clip and repost and all. No one's going to see it. Okay, boo. The internet never forgets.
Him for such dubious behavior.
So, did he stand by every single word that he said? Let's look at his initial apology, which he deleted pretty shortly after posting it, and then also hid replies on. Let's look at his first apology. I've recently been accused of some heinous actions and would like the opportunity to share my disgust at these accusations. I'm a firm believer in the rights and equality of all humans, including women. If that's not the biggest red flag immediately, I don't know what else is. I stand by the rights for all humans, and that does include women. Those creatures. I am including them in that statement because that's the kind of angel I am. It makes it sound like he's drawing a distinction between women and every other human on the planet, like they're a totally separate species.
Knowing Ben's litigious tendencies, Charlie clarified that any attempt to sue him or copyright strike the video would be met with an immediate and swift legal response.
Also, Ben, I know you're still watching. You probably plan on suing me if I show your apology video because you've employed this tactic before against other YouTubers. If they've shown clips of your content to make fun of you, you allege that it's stealing your work and you have a legal ground to take it down and come after them. You don't. That's not how that works. Me showing this is not any kind of violation in any way, shape, or form. So if you do try and sue me or copyright claim this video, copyright strike the video, anything like that, I will 100% respond with every single option at my disposal in order to follow this legal case through to its fullest conclusion.
From the end of—
Go ahead, Charlie. Go ahead, Charlie. Charlie got the money. He can do that. You think you're going to put Charlie's name in your mouth, sir, and think you're going to walk out? Have you not seen every other video essay with Charlie?
Almost there.
Of 2023 until mid-2024, the controversy Ben desperately wanted to hide almost completely became public knowledge. As a result of his own dishonesty, Ben had lost the love of his fan base, which completely wrecked all of his social media growth. If Ben had only taken accountability for what he did and made a proper apology, he could have avoided this outcome. Unfortunately, Ben isn't the type of person to acknowledge his mistakes. Instead, he tries to twist the narrative after the dust has settled. titled. On the 8th of September 2024, Ben would upload a video titled "Commentary Channels Love to Lie," in which he tried to minimize his horrible behavior by making the people reporting it look like clout chasers. Starting with the false copyright strike he made against Nick is Not Green, Ben tried to justify it by claiming he didn't know the difference between claiming and striking someone, and considered it a normal procedure when others use your content.
But Ben had copyright struck the previous video he'd made on him.
Not just copyright claim, but copyright strike.
This did happen. This was in 2021. I just point blank thought when someone used your videos, you put in a copyright claim. I didn't know there was a difference at the time between.
Shit.
Sir, you're a content creator. You don't know nothing about that. Do you?
Between strike or.
If you don't even read the fucking all that shit, there's videos to explain it to you. Hell, I can send you a video of D. Chanel explaining the whole copyright bullshit. Every content creator should know about the copyright thing. This whole stupid thing of I'm just oblivious to the whole copyright thing, so I'm just gonna copyright claim people. You can get in trouble for falsely copyrighting people. There's videos on that, sir. If you're a content goddamn creator.
Claim or whatever.
The way Ben presented things made it seem like a careless mistake, but that becomes very hard to believe when you look deeper into the situation. Anyone using the YouTube copyright system would be more than aware of the serious consequences associated with filing a copyright strike, especially a creator with over 1 million subscribers. How could he have gone through the entire filing process and not even understood what he was filing? Either Ben, 1, ignored the critical information from YouTube about the copyright system while filing the strike and didn't bother to do any research on it, or 2, was aware of the consequences and filed it anyway. Whichever one it was, Ben was clearly at fault for misusing the copyright system. If you apply Ben's logic to his own content, then almost all of his videos would be liable for a copyright takedown because he uses other people's content in their entirety. Ben downplaying his copyright abuse wasn't the only manipulative tactic Ben used to obscure his mistakes, as he tried to make his disgusting messages to Jordan Max seem like a drunken mishap.
So this girl DM'd me a year prior on Instagram, basically wanted to go grab a drink. Never ended up happening. A year later, I was starting a podcast, got drunk the day before she was gonna come over, and I texted her this. So, yep, this is a drunk text at noon. I was blackout drunk. It was just dumb. It was just stupid.
Looking back at Jordan's tweet, all she really did was state exactly what had been done and provided proof of said actions. When he recounted these events, Ben lied about the timeline by stating that the texts took place a day prior, when it was mere hours before their meetup. Not only that, but he also left out how the reason he cancelled their collaboration was because she refused to sleep with him. Ben is clearly twisting the facts to make himself look better, and when the evidence was too damning to deny, he resorted to call it a lie without any proof.
And with me,
this whole convo, I don't care what anyone says about it, this right here, I don't know who put it out, fake. Oh my god, I've dealt with Bentellect too, actually he's bothered a lot of women. Where's the name? This is just a text message, and people take it as like a story. It's not a story. Let me just say this. The story is that I started a podcast to leverage my fame to sleep with women. False. And any other person who tells you otherwise is lying. For fame, for views, or whatever reason. I got drunk at noon.
Okay, first of all, I've already been hearing from, what was it? That he's a little bit of an alcoholic. He got drunk at noon, allegedly. And there's a good example right there. I was drunk by noon. Bitch, you were drunk by noon? Don't you got some content to record? You can't do that. What? At noon?
And texted a girl who had DM'd me a year before and asked her if she wanted to hook up. That's not that crazy.
Despite asserting that these messages were fake, Ben did acknowledge his connection to one of the women listed, but stated it wasn't the public's business since it was a private conversation.
This girl and her and I met on a dating app in 2017, hung out once, and then I think hung out 5 times over the course of like 3 years. Never dated, only hung out when we drank. This text message combo was a private text message between me and her. I was drunk and texting her, yep. There's nothing in this text message that is any of the public's business. If you read someone's private text messages as content, you're a clown, straight up.
Private messages or not, Ben had a pattern of getting aggressive towards and insulting women who didn't give him what he wanted. The excuses of being intoxicated doesn't change the reality of what he did, and viewers were more than ready to echo that sentiment in the comment section below. Read.
I was drunk. Did you hear that one? That was a different video. That was a different message. And he's like, I was drunk again. Can you see what I'm talking about? He's a little bit of an alcoholic.
You realize being drunk in that moment makes it so much worse, and funny how you was drunk every time you texted them. Throughout the video, Ben couldn't admit to his mistakes and tried to make it seem like the coverage of his behind-the-scenes behavior was just people hating on him. As long as he could paint the people calling him out in a bad light, Ben felt like he was in the right, and was even comfortable enough with that reasoning to take things a step further by calling his critics clowns.
This is fake. This is fake. This is fake. This is fake. And this is fake. So if you've seen this video, it's BS and he's a clown. If you've seen this video, it's BS and he's a clown. And if you've seen this video, it's BS and he's a clown. Hope this helps.
As you'd imagine, viewers were very quick to point out Ben's extremely weak rebuttal to the criticism, with a comment stating, "Your argument is just saying they're wrong? You're so bad at this, you don't even have evidence that they are actually wrong. Someone didn't go to Lapse in Judgment 101, I see." This wouldn't be the last time Ben tried to slander his critics to save his skin, as he doubled down on this sick strategy going into 2025. However, it would cause him more harm than good. By the 16th of March 2025, Ben uploaded a video to TikTok captioned, "This guy is a creep," in which he framed Charlie's coverage of him as baseless slander.
Today I want to talk about someone. His name is Charles White. He made a video slandering me over a year ago, but the damage it caused still affects me, my career, and my mental health to this day, which is why I'm making this video. He made up a story reading fake screenshots from Twitter that I started a fake podcast to get fans girls specifically to come and hook up.
Bentellect uses this podcast as a way of just like the whole podcast existence is only here as a way of trying to get Bentellect laid.
I later put out a video explaining that Jordan Max had put out fake screenshots and debunked the theory because that came from me actually starting a podcast with Maria Smith, a friend of mine. I literally put out an apology video because I was sick and tired of the endless harassment. I wouldn't be respecting myself if I didn't speak my truth.
Following this, Ben complains about the damage it did to him on YouTube and even threatens legal action against Charlie.
There's a lot of people who unfollowed me because of Penguinz video. Let me give you an example. This video did millions of plays on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, but the same video only did 13,000 plays on YouTube, even though I have 3 million subscribers. A lot of fans have recommended that I sue Charlie. Other commentary channels even make videos detailing the damage. I would argue that Charlie reading strangers' private text messages makes him and his followers more of a creep than me texting a girl. But there's an idiot born every second, and a lot of them are following Moist Critical.
At this point, anyone who knew the truth about the situation called him out in the comments, but Ben was desperate to keep his facade intact, with a commenter stating, "You can try your hardest to deny the truth, but you know what you did. Charlie exposed you, and you continue to hide behind this lie you've crafted. Own up to it." Wecht responded by stating, "That's cute, show me the names and faces to match the screenshots." You can't. Case closed. This wasn't the first time Ben had retroactively slandered people who criticized him, as he tried to label Billie Eilish as a bully for making a parody of his content.
Over the years, Billie Eilish talks about cyberbullying and how it has negatively affected her life, to the point that she says that in 2018, she almost took her own life because of reading negative social media posts about her online. Well, 2 years later, Billie Eilish posted this video to her 50 million subscribers. I use Instagram. Scrolled. F is this. Unfollow. Scroll. Facts. Screenshot. Yes.
Facts.
But that's his whole fucking video, though. But there's a good example in all his videos. He reads the first line, and that last word, he just has this forced laugh. You can tell it's forced. It's not authentic. They're not funny. So you're like, what are you laughing for? You know, you can tell when someone's authentically laughing. Like they really think it's funny. You just like ha 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 ho 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 ho. This is a knee slapper. No, I don't buy it. I'm not a big Billie Eilish person, but that's funny. When you get Billie Eilish, a big known celebrity, musician, with 50 million making fun of you. I wouldn't mind Billie Eilish making fun of me. Maybe I'll get some new viewers by I don't give a shit. That's pretty big. You should actually send her flowers, sir. Now that's
From Ben's perspective, Billie intentionally tried to make her fans hate him and felt that she had no justification to talk about people hating her.
Years she gave a speech about cyberbullying and how against it she was, mainly from the hate comments she received from this photo. She says time and time again, those comments still hurt her feelings, even years later. She says she stopped reading comments, and she wants to dress the way she wants to dress without being judged, but posted this video knowing that it was making fun of me to her millions of followers, and in turn would cause her followers to come and hate on me, which happened for many years.
Ben takes it very personally when people laugh at him and assumes that making a parody of someone constitutes harassment. All Billie did was demonstrate precisely what Ben was doing under all of the memes on his page. Yet he interprets that as an attack and tries to convince the audience of the same thing. Fortunately, many of them were willing to take a more objective approach to the situation, with comments stating, "I think she was just demonstrating what it looks like to scroll and laugh. I don't think she was hating," as well as, "I'm not really a Billie fan, but I don't think she was trying to be mean to you." Going back to his YouTube channel, Ben has made several community posts wrapping the narrative around his bad reputation and history to make it seem like people were hating him for no reason. And
he must be a narcissist. The gaslighting is at 100% with this guy.
People were initially on Ben's side because they didn't know the allegations against him, but the table shifted when more users began noticing his posts, with one commenter even stating, "You don't have the time, huh? Then why you post this then? Put the fries in the bag, buddy." Even now, the misconduct Ben was trying to obscure was still costing him subscribers, as one user stated, "Just saw the allegations about the OF podcast, just unsubscribed. Didn't want to watch someone who is doing supposed shady stuff. I'm not saying you did this, I just don't want to follow someone who can't be honest or trusted." Seeing the writing on the wall, Ben understood that the YouTube community isn't going to give him a second chance, and uploaded this salty community post. "Stay in school, kids, you'll never be a YouTuber." Looking at Ben's recent YouTube metrics, the pattern only becomes more apparent, as his slander campaign against Charlie and his other critics has cost him over 10,000 subscribers. The more Ben tries to cover up his past, the more people find out about it. What's even more concerning is how this effect would be multiplied if he continues to go after the people that exposed him. Whether Ben realized it or not, trying to expose Charlie wasn't going to make people forgive or forget how he abused his platform. Even if Ben were to sue Charlie or get a response from him, the outcome wouldn't be in his favor. As one commenter put it, "My guy, it's over. Just take the L." If by some chance he even sees this video, he knows how desperately you would love a back and forth. He knows that you would even accept playing the deserved role as the villain as long as you got views again. You honestly think he has even thought about you for over a minute in the past 6 months? He's not gonna engage. If you got slandered, sue him. If you were a creep, don't. Either way, your relevance is done. Throughout his career, he has demonstrated a pattern of being petty and vindictive when faced with criticism. This happened with Nick is Not Green, and now it's happening with Moist Critical. The only difference this time is that most people don't know or remember how he lost his reputation the first time. But if he continues and starts a beef with Charlie, it's definitely going to remind them.
But back to the editing part, I live for the his edits. The picture of Bentellect kind of moving and stuff like that. The comment section, how it kind of like types out, and it's visually stimulating. It's visually pleasing. I had to figure those out. I got to figure those out. It'd be a lot of fun to throw into my reactor spotlights. Some of these kind of edits. I have to figure some of this stuff out. Anyway, that's not free. Why do you give two shits about that, right? Other than that, this was a good video. Show love to Internet Anarchist. And yeah, take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Love, peace, and grease. And bye.